And hello and welcome back once again to another edition of Behind the Lens with yours truly. It's game day. It's week 6. It's game 6. We got one in front of us. Let's get ready. We got 2 topics. We're going to roll through those. I got a couple conference calls I got to do as always on Friday. And then we will be headed right here to the Inferno tonight. Oakland, Blackman, week 6, game 6. A good breakup. Demo crews plus down buildings of the former Franklin Heights Public Housing Complex on Tuesday. Your front page of your daily news journal. Krager. Teague status a key for Blackman in the Oakland tilt. Cecil Joyce. Here we are, the front page. Quarterback Azura prepares if Stockstill won't play. He ain't gonna play. Week 6 is here. A look at the Murfreesboro area top games. Look at here. Look at what Cecil's done for me. Right here on the front page. The rundown. Let's get to them. First game of the week, Oakland versus Blackman. Oakland's 4-0, Blackman's 5-0. Oakland's had to sit out their game. They will play through fall break, and they'll catch up with the rest of them here shortly. Riverdale 4-1, taking on Centennial 2-3. Centennial's 2-3. That's Kreisky against Kreisky. They're brothers, so Coach Kreisky's at Centennial, Coach Kreisky's at Riverdale. 2 brothers will go against each other. Mom is torn on that one. You got Siegel at Warren County. That's a long trip, but a beautiful stadium, they say. Cane Ridge is over at Smyrna. Cane Ridge at Smyrna. Shelbyville at Stewart's Creek. Laverne at White's Creek. Laverne still 0-5, looking for a win. So is White's Creek at 0-3. Eagleville 4-1 at Moore County. So Coach Jason Dobbs has Eagleville. MTCS taking on Mount Juliet. That's a 3-2 and a 4-1. Cannon County 0-5 taking on DeKalb County on a 1-4. So there you go. There's a pretty good game. An 0-4 and a 1-4. And that's it. And that's the rundown of this week's games. Week 6, game 6. Let's get us a topic. Balls, running back Kelly wants yards, not penalties. Butch Jones. Bank account. Did you know that you are a bank? Now, what do you mean, Stork? Well, each one of us, you start off at 0, and then you put certain things into your brain and into your physical ability to prepare yourself for each and every battle, especially in sports. We're talking about high school sports. And grown-ups, you make financial deposits into a bank, and then you withdraw. But there's one thing when you become an adult, if you got good credit, you can make a loan. You know, I can borrow something and then use it to advance myself. Now, I got to pay it back, but I can take a loan. But you can't take a loan, kids. You can't take a loan out in talent or in experience or in off-season practice or weightlifting or doing your agilities and drills, studying your playbook, practicing on your battings, your fielding, your soccer kicks, whatever the case may be where it requires physical strength and ability. You're all the time making deposits up to a certain point. And then when the season kicks in, you're withdrawing each and every week the knowledge, the physical strength, all the things that you put into it, you're withdrawing. Now through the week right now, we're in the middle of the season. Stork, how do I make deposits back into it to try to add a little more? Well, you do. You add deposits of experience out here on the field on Friday night. So when you get that experience on the diamond or on the soccer field, whatever the case may be, you're adding to your portfolio of who you are. Now, sometimes if you have a bad game or a bad outing, you chalk that up as an experience, but it's still a deposit because you learned something. Maybe I shouldn't do that, or maybe I should chuck him before I, make that juke move and then get open. Whatever the case may be, deposits. You're a bank. You've got withdrawals, but you can't borrow from them. Isn't that kind of freaky? You can't borrow talent. Because if we could, we just go over here and say, I'll take a little of this, I'll take a little of that, I'll take a little of that, put it in this kid, put it in that kid, put it in that kid, and we'll be ready for Friday Night Lights, or we'll be ready for the big baseball game or softball game that's ahead of us. It's kind of weird that way, isn't it? But you know what? Here's the deal. At the end of the day, you know what your balance is, don't you? You know how much you got. So deep down, sometimes, let's say you get ready to go in for a test inside the school, and you don't study very much. Well, you didn't deposit very much. Therefore, when you go in to take that test, and that teacher slides that piece of paper out, you'll find out you don't have very much to withdraw. You see what I mean? And therefore, that'll cause a flag, otherwise known as an F. There you go. Let's move on to the next topic. Something that isn't in this paper, but should be. It should be in every paper across the United States. We're going to give our praise to Mr. 314, because tomorrow in Richmond, Kentucky, they're going to pull the sheet back across one of the greatest coaches that ever lived, Roy Kidd, where I went to school at Eastern. Roy has 314 wins, and they're going to unveil the statue tomorrow at EKU. It's a big day to be a Colonel fan tomorrow. I can't be there. Judy's got to work and be on call, but we'll be there with Greg Stoldemeyer in spirit. I guarantee you that. Let's get a topic, get out of here. Roy loved to run that ball, boys. Run it, Roy, run it. God, we'd be down by 2 touchdowns with 8 minutes left, and Roy's just running it up the middle. But we'd win somehow or another. I was up there in the stands doubting me. Tested. Well, here we are. 2 of the top teams in the state are going to go at it. Now, Oakland got tested week 2. We won't take that away from them. They got tested by Maryville. They came out a winner, chopped up a W. But you look at Maryville, they got tested too. They know a little bit more about Oakland, and they'll be better prepared if they meet them later on down the road. But right now, tonight, this game is a big test for a lot of you. Maybe you may never get another chance to go through a test like this again. You got to take advantage of it. It could be a big test of a baseball game, a big test of a soccer game. Maybe it's an undefeated team in soccer. Regardless of the situation, you can't downplay it. You can't say, it's not a big game. It is a big game. It is. And, it won't decide the outcome of the playoffs. It will move you up a little bit as far as positioning you for later on when we throw them after we get through these 10 games. It'll better line you to probably buy you another home game. That's what it's going to do. It's going to keep you at home until we get to week 4. Because no matter what, probably more than likely, you're either going to Farragut or you're going to Maryland. One of them 2 out of this area. That's just plain and simple. Whoever squirts out of this area, that's who you'll have to play in order to find out where we're going to go. Are you ready? That's the question. Are you ready? Do you want to be tested? Sometimes people don't want to be tested. They say, I don't feel very good, or you start to get a little queasy, or maybe a little scared. Well, it's normal. It's normal because it's a big game, and the people on the other side of the ball, they have just as many wins as you do, and they've got their star athletes. You've got your star athletes, and they'll collide, whether it be, like I said, no matter what sport it is. But you want to know where you are. You want to know where you are, and I want to know right now, because I can't try to implement certain deposits to fix my banking account so I can withdraw later on. You can't fix it later on. It'll be too late. And I would rather know now and have a loss and say, well, they did that to us the first time, but they won't do that to me the second time. It's just a process of learning. And you sure don't want to get down to that elimination week and playoffs and not have any idea or any information or never even played. The unknown can kill you. And that's just my own opinion. But anyway, we'll find out tonight what you're worth. on both sides of the ball. We are so excited. I couldn't wait anymore for this game to come because I love to be tested. And I'll leave you with this. As far as it relates to me, I love the game of sales. I constantly make deposits into my sales career. I listen to audio books, I read articles, I reread stuff. I think about the sales process as I go through it. I try to think of my features, my advantages, my benefits as I go through my sales process. Try to think of objections when I'm working with my customer, things they might say to me that would prevent them from making a buying decision today. I think about that. And through my career, I've met some fine salespeople. Some I've never even met. There's a guy I'm friends with. He is president of a company. And they're a national company, and a buddy of mine has told me many a times that Bill Gilbane is one of the best salespeople in the world. Now, I've never seen Bill Gilbane sell, but they tell me, he is a machine. Maybe one of these days I'll get to see him in the arena. Maybe I never will. I don't know, but they tell me he is one of the best in the United States. I like that. I want to learn from the best, because you learn when you get tested. You get to see somebody that's really good, whether they're a guitar player, a football player, a baseball player. It doesn't matter whatever they're playing or whatever they're doing. When they're at their level of the best, you want to see them because that's where we got to get to. Make sense? All right, let's get out of here. So tonight, the link will be up, of course, at storkmontgomery.com. Krager here is going to have the link on the Tennessee, and we appreciate him. I guess Cecil Joyce will be here tonight. This stadium will be bedlam at 7 o'clock. Bodies and people all lined up along the gate. Just a traditional, good old Tennessee high school football game, and two of the best, and we can't wait. So, God bless. Take care. From a man who truly, truly delivers. That's me, the Stork, and I'll see you tonight. Got everything worked out with Stork Vision. We know what tower we're shooting to. Krager. Now, Krager never saw Roy Kidd, but if he did, he'd write a lot of articles about him, I assure you that. He'd be a kid lover. Krager's never been a part of a winner, y'all. He went to Indiana. They don't win. They lose.